Hey y'all. Um, just want to give a shout out first to all the cancer survivors out there, uh, for all the people suffering from cancer, or if they have a loved one suffering out there. Keep up the good fight. I seen Dog Chapman today. He was on Fox, and he lost his wife to an aggressive form of cancer. So, very scary. She died a week after chasing down a suspect with a taser, handcuffed him, threw him in the back of the police car, spoke with him. They taped the whole show. She did it no problem. And a week later, boom, she's gone. So this is how quickly people go when they have cancer. Just like that. You could be talking to somebody one day, and the next day, boom, they're gone. So, and I really hope they're not hiding a cure. Because if they're hiding a cure, that is evil. That is terrible. And who knows at this point? The media lies so much. The only place you can get real truth, real information is independent journalists and people who actually have no hidden agenda. That's really the only place you can get the truth nowadays, because all our institutions are corrupted. The mainstream media is completely corrupt. They take their marching orders from billionaires who have an invested interest in what they're talking about. What do you think the opioid crisis is about? Is the opioid crisis about solving the problem, or is it about just money? And really, it's just about money. Because the media doesn't go in depth about what the problem is. Johnson & Johnson just got sued for 582 million, I think, something like that. And, so is the media trying to solve the problem? Well, no. You know, um, the truth is opioids work for pain. There are a lot of cancer sufferers out there. There are a lot of chronically ill people out there who need opioids. And they're also being affected by this knee-jerk reaction coming from powerful people. That all of a sudden there's a problem. There never was a problem before. Now all of a sudden there is a problem. And we need to outlaw and we need to sue. Well, guess what? Suing is not going to solve the problem. Suing a company, demonizing companies, pharmaceutical companies who save lives, who've invented cures, invented medicines that have cured a lot of ailments, who have saved countless lives, developing pharmaceuticals for people. By creating a straw man and demonizing these people, that's not going to solve the problem. Now, how you can solve the problem is by helping to spread good information, educating people on what opioids are, why they work and why they don't work, when it's a good time to take an opioid and when it's not. These are some things that we may want to consider. But instead, you're getting this knee-jerk reaction from people who have no idea what they're talking about, who have no first-hand experience, and they're demonizing people who should not be demonized. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies, they are not solely to blame here, okay? The truth is opioids work, and there's a lot more beneficiaries of opioid medicines than there are negatives. So there's many more people that benefit from opioids than disbenefit than that don't benefit. That's what they're not saying. They're not telling the truth about a lot of things. But for this very instance, they're definitely not being truthful. They are just regurgitating talking points, and the talking points are coming from powerful people with a lot of money who have a vested interest, and they don't want to solve the problem. This is one of the main things that happens, is that politicians and powerful people, they create a problem, they create a crisis, and then they run on solving that crisis. So, for instance, you have the opioid crisis. The people who are now seeking justice, so-called justice, I guess, fining a pharmaceutical company, the same people who are seeking justice are the same people who have a vested interest. Yeah, this really is a conflict of interest. I mean, they create a straw man and then they ask you to elect them to solve it. This is classic tactics politicians use. They don't want to solve the problem. If they solve the problem, they're not going to make any money. And that's what this opioid crisis is about. It's a knee-jerk reaction to a complex issue that is a smokescreen to hide people from the truth. If you want good information, you have to do your own research. So, people who are dying, who have cancers, who have serious issues, benefit from opioids more than people that don't benefit. So the people who benefit outweigh the people who it does harm. That's what they are not telling when they are regurgitating those three words. The opioid crisis. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a disingenuous lie. It's a destructive lie. It's harming people. That's what I don't agree with. And I wish more depth and discussion would go on about opioids. Stop blaming the pharmaceutical companies. Start taking some responsibility. Know that lawsuits don't solve the problem. You can ask for money, but that does not solve the problem. So, unfortunately, the media is not going to tell you the truth. They're just not. It's not in their DNA. It's not who they are. And if you want truth, you have to dig a little deeper. You have to get through layers of crap in order to find the truth. That's the only way that you can find the truth here. And I know plenty of people who benefited from taking opioids who, if you're in the industry, if you're in the manufacturing industry, it takes a toll on your back, it takes a toll on your legs, on your body. And I know a lot of people who benefited from taking some type of opioid, a mild opioid, like hydrocodone, and they can't get them anymore. And so Can we talk about that? No, the media is not going to talk about that. Why? Because that's not where their vested interest lies. Got to remember who the mainstream media has become. They have become their own worst enemy. They've become the people that they so loved to hate all those years ago. They've become them. So, if you really want to solve the problem, like the opioid crisis, which they don't, but if they did, they would have on all sides, and they would get all different facets of the problem, and they would amplify each and every one who has been affected by this drug and explain to the people so everybody understands what opioids are. That's how you solve the problem. Don't tell lies. Don't go around saying don't, no, no, no. Point. Don't do that, because that doesn't do anything. You tell somebody not to do something, what happens? They do it, right? They get curious. What you need to do is educate people. Listen, there are people who benefit from opioids and there are people who don't. Understand who is who here. They don't want that. That's not in their vested interest. What they want is power, control, and money. Greed. That's what they want. And that's what they're going to get. They're going to get it out of everybody because they have that control. They have that power. So just one more shout out, guys, to all the cancer survivors out there. I hope everybody, tells somebody that they know if they have cancer. Tell them you love them. Be there for them. This is a deadly disease. People are dying. People are getting cancer. Chronic illnesses. It's taking people out. You could be there one day and gone the next. And so be around the people that you love the most. And, let's try to solve this problem instead of turning on the TV and hearing the lies 24/7. Lies, lies, lies that do nothing but add grief and harm and destruction in their path. There's a fight in America, and it's not of a traditional kind. It's not a traditional fight, and we need to make that aware. But anyway, like, comment, share, tell me what you guys think. Do you guys know anybody who suffered from the opioid crisis? Do you know anybody who's died? Chances are you do. Was it legal opioids or was it illegal opioids that killed them? I'm interested to know that. Also, do you know anybody who has cancer? Let me know in the comment section. Let's see if we can get some awareness here. Let's see if we can, get some feedback. Thank you.